Welcome to episode number 59 of the Keep Up Podcast,
where we frame your life in the frame of existence. Yeah, you know, like the frame of existence.
Yeah.
That's where we are. That's the plane of life.
The plane of life.
Yeah. So imagine a flat plane. That's where we are.
Like
We
an airplane?
exist. No, like a grassy plane. And
Mm.
that's where we exist.
The amber waves of grain
Yeah. Did you get patriotic on me there?
for a moment.
Oh, okay. I appreciate it. Speaking of America,
What about it?
we're in it.
All right.
That's your American quote of the day. So I'm going to start off fresh, hitting my elbow off the wall because we're pretty close this time.
I'm drinking drinks.
Drinking drinks. I'm pulling up my mic because I'm still not happy with it.
All right.
I'm going to go right into a stupid question.
Woo!
Okay.
Let's go.
Ready?
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. I had to write it down because it's complicated to read out loud.
Okay.
Okay.
What if we have first-time listeners? Nobody knows what this is.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast.
Whatever,
Where we
just
talk
ask
about
your
pop
question.
culture and culture pops.
Yeah.
I'm Frank, and this is Beans.
None of that's true.
All right. I'm Beans. He's Frank.
What's your stupid question?
My stupid question. Can you say... No. Okay. It's more of a challenge. Say...
I'm not making a new transition for challenges.
No, it's fine. It's still... It lies under stupid question because
All
it's
right.
stupid.
Okay.
So say I love you without using those three words. Not in another language.
Okay, because that's what I was going to do.
No. Like, basically, it's a way to say I love you, but just using different words to explain it.
Can I speak in the third person?
You can't say Brett loves you. Well,
Why not?
Well, because you're still using loves in you.
No.
Uh-huh.
I
Well,
was-
how would
I
you
wasn't
do it?
going to.
Go ahead. I don't... Go ahead. What's your third person?
Well, who am I speaking to?
Anyone. And it could be more than three words. It doesn't have
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, because I need to give me a name. Who am I talking to?
Stephanie.
I thought you were going to say Santa for some reason.
That makes more sense. Or
Then I would
Sonic.
say Brett is enamored with Stephanie.
So you're not allowed to use smart words. Which I had to talk about smart words after that, too. No.
So if I can speak in the third person.
You could use that.
Yeah.
But say you're talking to someone.
Yeah. I mean, where did this question come from?
Because this is a way for you to think of how you show love for someone without saying I love you. So for me.
But you're still trying to say that? You're still trying to say I love you?
Yes, but without actually saying I love you. Like something that's so true to you. So like for instance, I'll give you my example.
Okay.
So I'm on a date with a girl, nice and fit. This isn't real because
I'm not a girl and this isn't a date.
No, just picture it, get the imagination
All right.
going.
All
All right,
let's go.
so we're and because I'm such a good date guy,
Right, we're at Burger
McDonald's.
King. Oh,
Hey,
okay.
close enough. Great minds think alike. Okay, we'll go with yours, Burger King.
There's a place. So.
Yeah, that's the best date place.
Okay.
Anyways,
All right.
so
Burger King.
we got chicken nuggets. We're sharing chicken nuggets.
I assumed mac and Cheetos, but whatever.
No, not this time.
Okay.
There's one chicken nugget left.
Mm.
And instead of saying I love you, I say you can have the last chicken nugget. And that is just as high up on the list as I love you.
That is so situational.
Yeah.
So you're saying anything, you got to put me in a scenario, and then how do you say I love you to that person?
Where they would understand. It's like, oh man, he must
They would
really
receive
care
yeah.
for me because he's giving up something.
Right.
Or,
Okay, ready?
Uh-huh.
Last night,
Yep.
it was like 10 o'clock,
Mm-hmm.
and Rachel was like, what should I eat? Now, this had been going on for about a half an hour because she was hungry.
That's the thing I always hear about women is they're always indecisive about what to eat. No offense. I just always hear or see people who are like, I want to eat, but I don't want this.
Yeah,
this.
well, you only have in the house whatever you have in the house. So Rachel, understandably so, when she gets snacky at night,
Snacky.
she's like not
Is
sure.
that like angry and hungry?
It's similar. It's not a mixture of the two. It's just
Right.
you get snacky, you know? So,
Get
but
the snacks is what they call it.
yeah, and you don't want to cook at that time. So the way that I said I love you is we have I can make you like scrambled egg lettuce wraps with stuff
That is
on
so
it.
seductive.
And she was
Brett.
like, that she was like, that sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I cooked
Mm-hmm.
late at night, late-ish, later than you want to be
10
cooking.
o'clock for people over 30.
No, just
It's
like
late.
you don't want to be cooking. I cooked something not in the microwave at 10 o'clock.
You actually cooked.
I had to scramble eggs.
Yeah.
And and we eat stuff in lettuce wraps.
Mhm.
We don't really use bread for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to balance the lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
That's hard to do.
That takes a little
It's hard to
finesse.
do.
Yeah. Do you like fold it over? Or is it on like
No,
a
so
bed
it's
of
like the
lettuce?
romaine hearts
Mhm.
that you can like rip off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
you know what I'm
rip
saying?
a heart.
Yeah, you rip hearts to pieces.
Yeah. And then pour the eggs in.
No. What? You got to cook the eggs first.
Well, I mean pour the scrambled
I'm
eggs.
saying is the situation was she was
Mhm.
hungry. I solved the problem.
And in that was you saying I love you.
If that's what you were looking for,
Yeah.
that's the answer I've
See,
got.
that's it. That's what
You know what I'm saying?
that's all I wanted to know.
What if you're on the edge of a cliff?
Uh-huh.
I don't know where this is gonna go. Never
I
mind.
mean, I can help you.
How do you say I love you?
They're
That's all the information you have. You're at the edge of a cliff.
edge of a cliff. Okay.
You and a dog and your girlfriend.
Okay. And so this is fake.
I don't know your situation.
Yeah. So I would say
You do have dogs.
I do have dogs. So it's half true. So I would say you can have the last chicken nugget. I'll always have chicken nuggets on me.
That's amazing.
So a romantic date on a cliff with chicken nuggets.
Yeah, the edge of a cliff.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
it's dangerous.
Right.
You can have the last chicken nugget.
Yes, exactly.
What if you accidentally drop it?
Then I'd be like,
We're done. I have nothing to offer you.
you can have Lassie.
Yeah. Lassie.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a dog I have.
So how do you boil it down? How do you so you're talking about like you're talking about showing someone that you love them with you're talking more about actions here rather than words. It started off about words.
Well, it is words.
It's not about words though. It's about what you do.
Well, can you think of a way to say I love you without using those 3 words that is not situational? Other than
No, probably not.
using synonyms for
Probably
those
not,
words.
because everybody receives love differently.
Right.
So the responsibility of the person showing love is
Mhm.
to understand how that person receives love and then to give it in that way.
That way?
Whatever the way is.
No,
It's situational.
Okay, so
You
you're
know what
saying
I'm
there's
saying?
no way to say that.
What?
There's no way to say I love you without saying I love you.
Universally?
Yeah.
Maybe gifts, but some people don't care about gifts.
Yeah, and what if they don't appreciate what's inside the gift?
They can still appreciate being given a gift.
Okay.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying,
Right.
if you're feeling it out,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying you're always going to know how someone receives love,
Mm-hmm.
but there is some way that they like to receive love.
And you're saying gifts might be one of those ways.
I'm just saying you got to try it,
Right, because there's
If
no
you don't
way-
know.
Right.
right?
See? This turned into romance with Brett.
Romance.
Love questions from the guru.
Am I? I just listened to the last episode today, and the conversation about what a guru is, and
Dude, gurus
all
are
that stuff was
the
so
best.
funny. So you can have the last chicken nugget.
I think that is universal. That is something, no matter who says it to whoever.
Even if you don't have any nuggets.
Yes.
Have you done your hair with like products since you got it cut?
No. Speaking of, I meant to mess with it. Why?
I was just thinking about how it was this big ordeal that you went to a barber shop
Mm-hmm.
and they did product in your hair and stuff that day, right?
No, just water.
They didn't?
Yeah, just.
Thanks for making water noises.
I almost wanted to get a
Yeah.
because the way they.
I mean,
did
I'm
it-
sure you have spray bottles upstairs.
Yeah, but they're all full of chemicals. Where am I gonna put them?
Well, use the chemicals. How bad can it be to Windex your hair?
Yeah, I mean seriously, if it's good enough for Windows, good enough for me.
It's going to be shiny.
Yes. But that's just the right amount of water. Because if I splash water on it, it just doesn't work out. It looks like I went through a car wash or shower.
That one makes more sense.
No way. I go through car washes all the time.
Any more brain busters?
Yeah. Well, not a brain buster, but a conversation.
Oh.
Big words. I don't like them. Because, and this is
That's not a conversation,
no,
Tim.
just hear me out.
All right.
This is why. When you try to use a big word, you get made fun of.
Yeah.
So it makes you feel stupid.
I see where you're going with this.
But if you use a small word, everyone like it just accepts it. It just happens. So if you're like, that guy's moving lethargically, and people are like,
"Oh,
see,
lethargic."
exactly.
Yeah. That is wicked annoying.
'Cause
And yeah, okay.
you try to have a more, I don't want to say adult vocabulary, but a more
Broad,
intelligent,
intelligent,
vocabulary.
varied.
Yeah, exactly. We'll use big words to describe this.
Yes.
So every time you use
Eclectic.
it, see, that's too many C's and A's for me.
Accoutrement.
Omelette du fromage. So then when you try to use the words, you feel like an idiot because everyone makes fun of you for being smart, being much smart.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you don't use it, it's just like commonly
You're just a
accepted.
commoner.
Yeah. So
You're
like
a peasant.
So where's the fine line?
You just got to do it. I don't think there is a fine line.
So you just had to do it enough where people are like, oh, that's
how he talks. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's it. And there's like, that's a common thing with a lot of stuff for whatever reason. I'm just thinking. I'm not looking at anything.
No, it's fine. I saw your keys over there and it threw me off.
Oh, yeah. Are those in the shot?
It doesn't matter.
You can kick them off the table if you want. I did notice that your lava lamps are weird.
When I have the AC on, it makes it like freeze up, and then sometimes it gets so hot that it doesn't freeze up. So it's frozen lava right now.
That's weird.
It's super weird.
Frava.
Sounds like a weird drink.
I was waiting for you to do that. It sounds delicious. I kind of want a Frava.
A Frava. What's it full of? Fruit?
There's definitely fruit. It's a fruit Java.
What's a Java?
I don't know. Some kind of coffee thing. I don't know a lot about coffee.
That sounds gross.
It does.
Fruity coffee?
Maybe. Frothy.
I don't want any of these.
Frothy Frava.
So yeah, big words, no good.
Big words, good.
Good. You're saying good.
Yeah, I just think there's like a point I want to make, but I don't know how to vocalize it. Like if you do something that's different in general, you get like judged because it's different, and mostly I think it messes with people's comfort levels, and that's why they like people feel the need to be like, oh, big words.
They don't know what the word means. You think?
No, or they don't usually do it, so they feel uncomfortable. I think it's like a pride thing. Like people are proud, so if someone around you is doing something that, even if it's subconscious, like if someone is super intellectual, I can start to feel like self-conscious, like, oh man, that person is like way smarter than me. But there's no like that's not really beneficial to anyone to start thinking that way.
Right.
But I think a lot of people's like natural defense mechanism is to like go to sarcasm or whatever and be like, oh, accoutrement. Oh, cool words. It's the same thing with like there are a few women that work where I work and they're Dominican, and I could communicate with them in Spanish because I did pretty well in high school, but I don't because I feel
like you'll be judged
like if I do
by them or your coworkers.
Probably my coworkers.
See, that's stupid.
But exactly, but it's the same thing. I think with them, they would be like, "Oh, cool!" Like he's like, it's not really fair that like It almost feels unfair that I don't communicate with them in the language I know.
Right.
Is easier for them.
Yeah,
is their first language.
You guys can communicate on like a whole new level.
Instead, they have to communicate with me in broken English.
Right. And
because
then you try to decipher what they're saying.
Yeah. And which is not fair to them because I can speak their language.
Right, you have.
I just don't.
So
and I don't speak it like super fluently, but what I need to communicate with them, I totally could.
Yeah, you know it, and hopefully can relate.
And I did it once the other day, and I felt stupid afterwards because. So okay, I go over to one of the girls who works there, and there's this weird, stupid thing that I do where like, and I think a lot of people do it. Like, you know what you're about to say or do, but you almost act like you're not sure as like, it's almost like, I'm trying to think of,
maybe to make it seem more casual, like not in a dominating way, you know? Like,
it's something like that. Or like, have you ever seen someone like, they want to sing, but they do it jokingly to make it seem like they're not, because if they just started singing, it would be like, all right, dude, calm down.
It's like, why
I don't know if that's
a
good example, but
I get what you mean.
You know
it's
what
like,
I mean?
like when you go, let's say, to buy something, and it's like fast food is what I'm thinking.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like, I think I want a number 4, but you know,
but it's like you know it's a number 4.
Right.
Yeah,
and I totally get it.
Okay.
You're like, Why do we do that, though?
I don't know. So this mentality, again, it's like it's discomfort or insecurity or like you don't want to look stupid or whatever.
Yeah.
So I went over and I wanted to say sorry. I know that to say sorry is lo siento, but instead of just saying it, because I've been working there for many months, and so to just randomly start speaking Spanish felt weird to me.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to just jump right into.
Right.
Like, lo siento.
Right. So instead of just saying it, I asked her in Spanish, how do you say sorry? Which kind of gives away that I know how to speak
exactly.
So, but I didn't think about it.
Right.
You know, so I was like, oh, it'd be weird to just say lo siento.
So let's ask
her
I'm
like,
in Spanish.
¿Cómo se dice sorry, lo siento? And then I said it anyways, and she like looked at me, and she was like, sí, lo siento. And I was like,
she was probably so confused.
She was like, wait a minute. Did he just ask me in Spanish how to say it? So then I walked away. I was like, what an idiot. Like,
it makes me think of that Family Guy moment where the guy explains that he can only...
Yeah. He's like, I only know how to say that. Wait, really? Really? Yeah. Okay.
It's so funny because it's like... I'm just imagining the situation.
I'm glad that translated.
It's so good because you ask her in Spanish, which is 10 times more complicated than just using the one word.
So dumb.
So, and you ended up using the word correctly. That's funny. But it did give her maybe a more understanding that you do know.
Right, it's out there now.
Yeah.
But it reminded me of that thing where it's like, you know you can do something, but that for some reason, like I always feel super awkward speaking another language, even if I know how to do it.
Yeah.
Like, okay, have you ever been in class and like, did you take Spanish?
Yes.
Okay. Did you have a kid in your class who he or she used like perfect pronunciation when they spoke in the language?
I mean, there were students who were really good at it. I don't know.
Did you silently judge those kids?
No, I don't.
Okay, because sometimes I feel like there were kids who it would seem like they're overperforming. Because they would speak with like perfect diction, like they would even have a proper accent. Yeah. They would like roll their tongue perfectly and stuff like that. And for some reason, if you do that, it's like, oh, all right, like
calm down,
reel it in a little bit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like, why is it better to speak with like a broken accent?
Yeah, maybe because you're like you assume that they're learning the language, so they shouldn't, or I don't know.
It's just like. You feel like they're superior or something. Yeah, I think it's like a defense mechanism.
You know, the more I think about it, the more, I mean, I think I did it involuntarily, but I'm like, well, they're not Spanish. Why are they talking like a Spanish person as opposed to like an English person trying to say it? Which is stupid. That doesn't make sense.
It's like it should be. And I get it because I did it too. Like there were kids in class who would like totally be like the best in the class. And I'm like, all right, cool it. Right. You know what I mean? Like. You're born in New Hampshire. So
it's like you're not supposed to speak this.
But so then it makes me like I can speak with pretty decent diction. I mean, I'm not perfect, but pretty good diction in. Is that the right word? Diction.
Nary.
Pronunciation.
Well, diction must be.
I feel like how you. What's the word I'm looking for? There's a word I'm looking for.
The dialect.
Maybe that's it.
Like your.
The choice and use of words and phrases in speech or writing. The style of enunciation in speaking or singing.
That sounds right.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah, because the style obviously is their dialect.
Yeah, like, you know, I don't know. You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what I'm saying, all right? So I don't know. I just see what you're saying about like if you use a big word, there's a moment of self-consciousness right before you use it where I'm like, am I going to get judged for this?
Yeah, it's like
there will probably be someone who's like, ooh,
big word. Exactly. And it happens all the time. It's like I wonder if there's a limit like to how many syllables. Like, if it's 2 syllables, you're good. If it's 3, you're way out of there.
Yeah, it's frustrating because there's all these cool words we never use them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's frustrating. Dude, languages are weird.
They are, but then like, if you're gonna learn a new language, don't you want to do it well?
Yeah, exactly. You wanna use it all the time as much as you can.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like playing an instrument, right? Like, okay, so I've played on a lot of in church culture. If you play an instrument and you will get asked to play on a worship team or something randomly. So in the past, like, I don't know, 10 to 12 years, I've played with a bunch of different teams. So if I play drums, like I'm pretty decent at drums. I'm always like cautious how many like fills or rolls I do, even though I like to, because that's how that's fun to me. And it gives accents to the music. But if I'm playing with a new group of people, I'm always cautious at first because I don't want it to look like I'm showing off.
Yeah.
But it's like if you can play the instrument,
why not play it as well as you think?
Yeah, exactly. But it's like the same thing with everything. For whatever reason, you got to like ease into it. So like you said, you almost want to, if you want to use like big words, if that's the example we're using, you almost want to like do it enough that people are like, oh, that's just how he talks.
Yeah.
But it's a weird thing. It's a weird human interaction thing.
I wonder if it's more of our culture or like just American culture.
That's a good question.
Or if it's just like a human thing where it's like everybody, no matter where you are, it's just like, well, if I use this word, it's weird.
I think it's probably both, because I think we probably have like, I don't know, like instinctual things that are like self-preservation. We probably have like there are characteristics within us that want to like survival things. Like it's my assessment would be there's probably some really like primitive things at work into the way that we
growing up in the culture, you know how people react to doing those things. So it's like the way to make my image look good is to just stay in line with everybody, conform with everybody. You know?
Exactly.
And that's weird because I think you're right. It is something primal.
And it's almost subconscious.
Yeah, because your brain just automatically goes, nah, you know that word. You know a much better version of this word.
But it's easier to just not say it.
Stick with this. Stick with this other word because nobody will judge you. You're totally fine. But it's funny to think about because that doesn't go through my head.
No.
I'm just like, I imagine it's
a quick
like
decision.
Yeah, exactly. I imagine it's a bunch of guys with like files, and they're like, well, he's got this one or this one. Throw that one in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, duh. Yeah. That's a word I end up using instead of stupid. But yeah, I just find it interesting. It seems I didn't have that situation happen recently, but it like I just thought about it. I was like, it's funny because you sound stupid for using big words, but you also sound stupid for not, or maybe not stupid, but less intelligent if you don't use big words. Yeah. So I don't know. We're weird.
I think that's an interesting like small scale metaphor for how we all conform to things.
I think so.
Because sometimes like I'll recognize the easier route in a conversation or situation and I'll like purposely not do that thing. And try, because sometimes it's hard to figure out what you really want to do if you overthink it, which is like a superpower of mine. Is like, okay, so the big word thing, right? You come up to it in your head and you're like, I want to use this word. Yeah. And then you're like, nah, it's easier to do this one. And then you can get caught in like, oh shoot, what do I actually really want to do?
Right.
And then that's hard to figure out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally. Because you're sitting there and you're like, you know, society wants you to use the small word. The man is like, nah, just keep using small word. Yeah. Everyone accepts it. Yeah. But it's like, I also want to be kind of different and use this word that I never hear. Yeah. I know what it means. And maybe if they don't, they'll learn a new word and maybe it could spawn a more intellectual conversation. Right. But you're also afraid. You're like, what if I sound like an idiot? Right. And it's really just like you're gauging the person. And in a sense, you're trying to impress them, but not.
That could be the mentality.
Like subconsciously, you're just sitting there and you're like, well, I want this person to like me. What's the best way to do that? Maybe you think the quickest way.
It could be, it could be like a people-pleasing thing where you're like, which isn't necessarily good.
Right.
Because you could change. Like I had a thing where I was just talking to someone about this the other day. It used to be really, really bad where I would borderline like lie about things because people would be like, oh, and I'm sure everyone's done this to some degree, but it was like turning into a problem for me where people would be like, oh, you know this part in this movie, like, and we'd be mid-conversation, so I'd just be like, yeah. But, like, I'd never seen the movie. Ooh. I would just try to get through the conversation.
That's happened to me so many times.
Right, and I realized it as, like, a pattern, and I was like, shoot, I need to not do that.
Or you need to watch more movies. That's
or I need to go see that movie.
Like,
yeah, right.
Okay, now I need to see it because next time they'll bring it up in the conversation.
Exactly. So, I don't know. It's just a funny, weird thing that we do that makes it either, like, easy and or pleasing to whoever we're talking to or whatever situation we're in, which like I feel like the easy way out is never the most productive.
No. Yeah. But everyone does it. Like it's just something that I think naturally happens, unfortunately.
What an interesting episode this has been so far.
It's intellectual. Go from stupid questions to maybe a stupid conversation.
Cultural assessment.
Yeah. This is where's the entertainment here, folks?
I don't know.
Well, speaking of, I guess we can transition into television.
Okay.
Television. I feel bad when people breathe like a mouth breather.
Yeah.
Like you're just sitting there and they're like. Never heard anybody breathe like that?
Yeah.
You know what I also always got really upset about?
What?
Fat children.
All right.
As funny as that sounds, every time I see like just a really big kid, I feel bad because I knew I was a big kid.
Yeah.
And
Samesies.
And one event in my life that kind of scarred me, I guess.
Oh no.
So
what are we in right now?
Television. I've been thinking about fat children.
We in childhood reflections.
No. So Bailey, as you know, our sister, just in case you're new to this little thing we got going on here. She used to play softball, and I used to get dragged along to all the games because I was just a little too young to be home by myself.
Yeah.
So
you were a baby.
But I was older. I was probably like 10 or 11.
You're an old baby.
But I wasn't old enough to be home alone. That's stupid.
Nah, I mean, there were lots of crooks in our neighborhood.
Yeah, we had crooks in our neighborhood. Where were we at the time?
Crooks and thieves.
So I used to always go to the concession stand every single time.
Right.
And get food, obviously.
How is this different from now?
You know what? Because I was small.
Okay.
So
all right, so
now I don't care.
You're a small old baby.
But I usually saw the same lady every time because she was one who ran it. So near the end of the season, I don't remember specifically what her comment was, but she was like, it was basically like, "Oh, it's you again. You want your usual French fries and a drink or whatever?"
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "You're such a cute like big boy." And I was like, "What does that mean?" But it kind of left me with this like, I don't know. I felt kind of weird because she knew my order, and she like reflected on my weight. You know, she like just noticed that.
So those two things together made you feel weird?
It did, I guess, because I felt like, I don't know. I just that was one of the moments where I felt like fat, I guess, because I used to get the same order. It was always this big thing of French fries and a drink, water, whatever I had. But I don't know. I just like.
I'm sure it was water.
Yeah, that's all I ever drank.
You never drank.
I know, which is.
You're like whatever it was, milk or coffee. I don't know.
Soda. But yeah, it was just kind of weird because I was like, I don't know, being young and understanding that like, hey, I'm actually kind of fat for my age.
Was that like? I don't remember how big you were around that time, but like so the times when there's so much like this is such a weird episode. The times. Okay, let me ask my question first.
Yes.
I don't remember, but was that like one of the first times that you felt like you were conscious of how you looked?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was like as a kid growing up, obviously I didn't care, and I was.
No, you don't think about it.
And I wasn't a big kid, you know.
I remember you being like scrawny.
Yeah, I was small. Small for a while, but at some point I just, obviously started gaining weight.
Discovered French fries.
I did. I discovered the truth, Doritos and fries, which as a kid I ate Doritos all the time too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that was like the initial moment, and it always sticks with me because I'm like, that lady, she wasn't being mean or anything, but my brain is like, man, that lady was kind of mean. Like she wasn't mean, but to me, I guess it just hurt a lot more because I was like, and I didn't, the rest of the season, I didn't go back to the concession
Really?
stand.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, and like, that's why I think when I see fat kids like go to concession stands or do anything, I was like, I feel bad. But the kid, obviously, doesn't care. He's just walking around.
Super hard because like, okay, there's a bunch of stuff in there that we could talk about. It's like really interesting to me because I'm like always kind of analyzing like human behavior now and just thinking about my kids and me as a kid, and there's a lot of interesting stuff there because you can't. It's interesting to me that those two comments are what bothered you as a kid, because her just remembering your order is just like, hey, like she's just being friendly, but then she tacks on like you're such a cute big boy or whatever.
She said something along those lines. Like, I don't think you're such a cute big boy, but obviously reflected on my weight. Yeah,
like there was something in there.
Yeah, that I was just like.
And then it tied. Like, do you think it would have stuck out if she just remembered your order? Or was it like the comment being tacked on there?
The order is certainly a big part of it because I'm like, man, I do come here a lot and get the same fries every time. But like I said, I was young, but it was like.
You couldn't have been the only one. I mean, how often were there games?
Pretty frequently. I think we went
like weekly?
Yeah, probably. Maybe.
So what, you eat French fries once a week?
Pretty much.
And now you're like, I'm terrible.
I actually eat French fries more now than I did as a kid. I probably have it like 3 times a week.
But it's interesting because with kids, like I know it. it's hard not to like wonder if you see like a kid who's like really overweight, but there's body types and kids just develop however they develop. Like some kids are like bigger and then they grow into themselves at some point. I don't remember when, but I know there were a couple significant times I remember when I was a kid that a friend would say something to me or an event would happen and I would come home being like, oh man, I'm a fat kid. Like, it's like I had one friend who, and if I remember correctly, we were like the same size, but he like one day he was like, yeah, like, you know, you're fat, right? Like you're just, we were just that age where you just like, some kids just said like mean stuff. Yeah. And like,
and they just like, they thought of it as conversation.
Yeah.
It's weird when it's two fat guys because they can comment on each other and it's like, it's not as bad.
And like, yeah, but I wasn't thinking about that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
he just he just randomly said it. And I remember coming home and mom was like, I was just like sad and she's like, why are you sad? And I was like, I literally said this. I was like, I found out today that I'm fat. And she was like,
how old were you?
What? I'd have to trace it back to like, that's hard. I don't know, man. Between 9 and 12.
Yeah, that's
something like that.
That's a broad range.
Yeah.
But still, that's exactly like the same time she made the comment and I felt weird. So maybe it's like your transition,
your formative years.
Yeah,
you
like
know?
you actually start thinking about yourself.
Right.
You know?
But it's kind of frustrating because like I don't feel like kids should have to think about that. And the reason I think back to it is like I'm trying to figure out when it happened because whenever it starts happening with my kids, I want to make sure that they know like to not even think about stuff like that. Yeah. Because it formed the way I thought about myself even till now. Like I struggle with stuff like that now. And high school was awful because everybody's comparing themselves to everybody else. Everybody's trying to like.
It's such an evil thing.
And I should say, like, I had fun in high school. Like, I wasn't, I didn't like hate.
But it throws
everyone in high school.
Whatever school you're in, 300 kids who are all trying to figure out who they are, what they are.
Right. And
you see all these other people, and you're like, what? Do I want to be like that? Do I want to be like myself? Like,
and then it comes back to like the thing where you make other people feel bad for like doing well in things because you feel bad about yourself, and that manifests in different ways. Some people are proud in the way that they just like talk about how much they hate themselves all the time. And I look back to pictures of me in high school when I was like, I'm the fat guy. Like, that's just what I am. And I'm like, I'm so much smaller in high school than I thought I was. And I'm like, how did I think I was fat then? And it's so frustrating because literally like I look back and I'm like, I was wearing like all smaller clothes then. And like,
so you almost think you might have wasted time being concerned about it, even though you were a normal.
Yeah, dude. Like for whatever reason, like there were just all these things. And then I had a couple friends who would like, I had one particular friend who he was just brutally honest. And
which could be good or bad.
This one, he was a little overboard with it, but he would like say, he would be like, yeah, dude, like, you're like the fat guy. It sounds like the other kid.
Yeah.
But this was later in high school as I'm older and
right, where it's not just like kids just talking.
Yeah, it's like a friend of mine. I'm older and more like conscious of things now. And he's like, yeah, dude, like you're a fat guy. And then like I had another friend there, and this is like we're talking like high school dudes who we always make fun of each other all the time. And in the same room, one of my other friends, like our mutual friend, was like, all right, dude, like calm down, like go easy on him.
It's like why
that never happened in our group of friends. We would just rip on each other all the time, and that's how we like.
I think it's talking about weight is, I guess, always a touchy.
It's so
subject,
touchy,
but you could be like, dude, you're such a like. You could say anything.
Just whatever.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It was all fun and games. And then, like, I remember this one particular day, I was like, damn, dude, like, calm down. So, I don't know. It's just funny. But I guess we were talking about kids. And you just never know, like, what a kid's situation is. Sometimes it's like, you wonder, like, what they're being fed or how they're being taken care of. But there are kids who, like, they're just developing and you don't know what they're going to look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Weight's a weird thing.
It is a weird thing. It's like, why do we have weight at all? As humans, why?
Well, we're all just,
why do we store the fat?
Oh, that's really funny.
Do you think that's like?
I mean, the obvious problem is we've like culturally developed an aversion to most body types.
Yes.
That's the problem.
That is like, really it.
If we're trying to identify a problem in the TV section of our pop culture podcast for whatever reason.
I think this is what the people want to hear about.
I don't know. We'll find out. I mean, we literally do whatever we want on this podcast.
Yes. I like the podcast where we talk more about lifestyle.
I like it.
Good. I'm glad we agree.
I like it.
So, I don't even know where to go from
I don't know how to get out of this.
No, I'm just thinking, like, I'm stuck on fat kids. Because every time I see him, I feel bad. Not because the parents are doing anything wrong, but I'm like, I wonder if he's going through the same thing I went through.
And probably.
Mm-hmm. But maybe not till later, or he just doesn't care. He's just like, I got this hot dog. And
there
I'm
could
all
be
set.
an I don't care. Hot dogs do make things better. But it's hard because, like, it's so there's so much here because a lot of like I feel like a lot of people either have or have had at some point like the chubby funny friend,
mm-hmm.
and that's like what I was, mm-hmm. and still am probably, and like
30 years later.
Yeah, but you like you develop a sense of humor about it because that's like all you can do.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with kids, especially nowadays with social media and stuff like that,
mm-hmm.
Like you're internalizing so much, and that's the scary thing. Like that's what I'm with you on that. Like you feel bad about it because you're like, oh, what are they experiencing? What are they going through?
Right.
And then conversely, you have kids who like are maybe like thin or athletic,
mm-hmm.
and they're probably going through a bunch of like competitive thoughts and comparing themselves to people too.
Yeah.
And like trying to fit in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I can totally like empathize, sympathize,
relate.
Yeah, with like the quote unquote fat kid or the one who's
I think
like,
empathize is right because empathy is when you.
That's when you can like feel the same thing.
Yeah, when you I guess have been through it, so you
right.
guys can relate. As
Sympathy is
when you're like
sorry about your situation.
Right, I've never been through it, but I still feel bad for you.
That's what I thought it
mm-hmm.
was. This is such an interesting significance between the two, or difference between those two words.
Yeah.
I'm glad those words exist.
I am too.
Yeah, so I'm with you on that. I can empathize because it's like, it sucks. It sucks like, dude, what are we talking about right now?
It sucks growing up. That's what it is.
Growing up is the worst.
It's the best thing and the worst thing. It really is because and it all depends on like, there's so many factors, you know. I'm not going to list it because everyone has probably been through it in life. But, yeah, I guess basically I was thinking about fat children because I watched Stranger Things. Finish that off. I was going to jump right into it.
There's the transition.
There it is.
Yeah.
So I finished Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
So good.
I thought it was an excellent, excellent show.
You thought right.
Yes.
I just saw a promo for the second season, and like I can't wait.
What, like the short?
It was just
the Eggos at the beginning, and then
I didn't even see it.
Oh, okay.
Is there a video, like a promo video?
Yeah, there's a trailer that's like 20 seconds or something.
Oh, I just saw like a still shot.
Oh,
and it was
okay.
like October.
I
think it's October, right?
Yeah, they said in the trailer on Netflix it was Halloween.
My neck hurts.
Ugh.
Netflix.
Oh, nice.
That's
Good.
what my kids call it.
Yeah.
Netflix.
I love Netflix.
Can we watch Netflix?
Netflix.
So rate it. We don't have to do that. It's just like my first instinct.
I know it is. It's an easy thing to fall into, and you've talked about it before, so I don't want to trot all over what you said already, but it is an excellent watch. Totally, like it's funny. It gives me a nostalgic feeling, even though I wasn't around during the 80s.
Right.
Like, but like 80s movies and television and all that stuff. It totally has all those.
You've seen and
qualities.
Experienced enough from that era to know that they nailed it.
Yes, exactly.
Like, yeah.
And there's just so many great things. Because it has a beautiful balance of like drama and humor and sci-fi and mystery and all this stuff, and it's just a really excellent show. I found it really funny that a tad spoiler, not too much, but there was a scene where two characters go and buy a bunch of like weapons and ammo and all that stuff, and it's so funny because I'm like, this would obviously never pass nowadays, but they go in and get like $500 worth of guns and bear traps and stupid things, and the guy's like, what are you doing with this? And they're like, monster hunting. He's like, all right. And then they walk out.
That seems so good.
I was like, this would never work anywhere else, but it was so well done.
Yeah.
Honestly don't know what else to say. I mean, everyone knows about it, so I don't have to keep saying how awesome it is. But
you're definitely gonna watch season 2.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
So I watched that. Just wanted to say it was awesome. And then I also watched Castlevania.
Right. I haven't watched it yet.
Yes. So this is based off the Konami video game. That
How's it look?
Really
I'm sorry.
good.
I'm just really excited to know how it looks.
No, it's really good. It's, obviously anime format.
Sure.
There are a bunch of studios working on it. I can't list them all, but there's at the end of the episode they always show like whoever worked on it.
Yep.
So there are 4 different teams working on it, which I find to be a lot for just anything animated. Generally, generally there's like 2, you would say, like one who does the art and the other one who like produces it or whatever.
And it's pretty short form, right? Like how long are the episodes?
26 minutes. So it's typical anime fashion, typical TV fashion. But one of the surprising things about it is it's 4 episodes, the whole season.
Is it called a season?
Yeah, which that's where I kind of like trip up a little bit because how it's formatted, it should totally just be a movie. I think there's 4 episodes, each 26 minutes, ends up being like 90 or 100 minutes. So it's total movie quality. They should have just made it a movie is what I'm saying.
So are they that tightly connected?
Pretty much. Yeah. You finish an episode and it jumps right into the next one. Like,
interesting.
It's meant to be binge watch.
Okay.
But other than that, like shortness, overall, the animation quality is awesome. Very fluent when they're fighting. Like it's one of those like Attack on Titan or One Punch Man. Like it's super fluent. So that's exactly what I want from this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Pleasantly violent. There's a lot of dismemberments and beheadings and people exploding and magic.
Sounds about right.
There's just so much good Castlevania tasties in it. So the story follows. It is based off the 3rd Castlevania game, Dracula's Curse.
Okay. Is it Simon Belmont?
No, it is Trevor Belmont.
Trevor, that's right.
Which he is the last son of the Belmont clan.
Simon was 2. Simon's Quest, I think, was Castlevania 2.
I think who was the first one then?
I think that was also Simon,
but
I think 2 was called Simon's Quest.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, 2 is definitely Simon's Quest.
But I'm not sure who's in the first one.
I think it's Simon as well.
Probably.
So anyways, the story starts off where you are following this like scientist lady, and she just like waltz right into Dracula's castle, and she's like, "Hey, I'm in the pursuit of science, so I don't mind that you're a vampire. Help me, save the world, basically." And he's like, "Oh, I hate humans, blah blah blah," and she's like, "Give him a chance." And he's like, "Okay." And it's a little more dramatic and better than that. But and later on, this all happens in the first 5 minutes, so it's a little spoilery, but it's also like a premise for a lot of the games. So,
okay.
So she ends up getting captured by the church, and she is called a witch, and they burn her at the stake.
Whoa.
Or a stake. Burn her, basically, because she's a witch. And obviously, her and Dracula fell in love and got married and had little baby Alucard.
Dude, that feels like a lot of spoilers just now.
Well, no, it happens.
Okay.
And come on, Symphony of the Night, that game's like 10, 12, 15 years old.
Age has nothing to do with it because some people are that age and haven't played it yet.
It happens. Okay. I'm sorry for spoiling everything, apparently. But,
whatever.
Well.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
So anyways.
So baby vamps.
So then Dracula gets super mad and tries to kill all of the human race.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the premise of the story.
Nice.
So then you jump to Trevor Belmont and you follow him through his various 3-episode adventure. I would say 4, but he doesn't show up till the end of episode 1. So.
Okay.
And from there you just see, and he don't really want to say anything else because it'll spoil it, but you start following him.
Yeah.
And so story-wise, it's great, but unfortunately, it's all set up. That's this whole season is just set up.
So it's like 5 episodes of Dragon Ball Z.
You're pretty much exactly. Give or take, really. It's just setting up the characters, the world, the story. It's doing all that.
Okay.
And just it pretty much ends at the point where you're like, all right, here comes the season.
Here we go.
We're just about to start, and that's it.
And it's over.
And you got to wait till next season.
So season 2 is going to be dope, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if it's anything. The last episode of the season is specifically the best just because it's all out action, and you get it starts progressing real fast. But yeah, that's kind of unfortunate that it ends so abruptly.
Yeah.
But I would say it's definitely more of like a preview of what's to come.
Okay.
But
you think they're like feeling it out, seeing what? Well,
they already confirmed a second season, 8 episodes. So
was that after this came out though?
I think the day of.
Oh.
So, and whether or not it did good or bad, how they set up the story totally, like, I feel like they rushed it, honestly. Like, they should have waited and did these 8 episodes and then just made it all one big season.
Weird.
So, but, disregarding that fact, it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's totally worth a watch if you're a fan of Castlevania.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me think that video games should just all go to anime or animated.
Yeah, I mean,
it just seems like the perfect format because television, obviously, you have a lot more time to be able to tell a story.
Mm-hmm. That's why Joss Whedon works in TV.
Yeah, because
he's always said he likes that long form storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You can really flesh stuff out,
which is great. It's excellent, especially for games because you do have the video games to give you like the base.
Right.
But obviously the television format can give you more room to talk about things.
Yeah, and you can like episodically focus on one thing, and it doesn't feel like if you take a movie, and it depends on the movie because obviously this can be done well.
Yeah.
But say you have this whole big world in a film, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you spend 30 to 40 minutes, which is essentially a quarter or even a third of a film in like one area.
Yeah.
It can feel like, oh man, we spent the whole like so long in this place.
Right.
But if you do that in an episode of like a long form TV show, it can be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, that one episode of S.H.I.E.L.D. that we talk about a lot, where it's like you just spend time in this one place.
Right. And if that was a movie, it would be like just a quick scene of her like going through and then getting out.
It might be like a quick thing just to show you that it happened. It might not. Again, depending on the movie, some directors aren't afraid to, but it's a risk in a movie to spend a lot of time in one place.
Like The Martian,
Yeah.
That's a
or phone booth.
Or phone booth. That's a risk.
Or Buried.
Oh, Buried's good though. That's real good.
A successful risk. I love Ryan Reynolds.
But yeah, it's you can't go wrong with
so I'm agreeing with you on the video games because I feel like I always think of like BioShock. How are they going to make BioShock something visual other than a video game?
Yes.
And I think they're talking movie, and they have been for a while. But if you did a TV show with that, you could introduce new characters. You just in the world of BioShock.
Yeah.
You could spend a lot of time in like a whole episode on explaining what a Big Daddy is, or you know what I mean?
You could show like their beginning because you have in the game those voxophones is what they are in Infinite, but the little radios that tell you the stories.
Yeah.
So like you do go through like the Big Daddy processing plant, but you get that story just through listening. So visually it'd be amazing to watch just like an episode, like you said, see how a Big Daddy, and they have the material, just gotta film it basically.
Right.
But yeah, in a movie, like I assume they won't even take time to explain the Big Daddy. They'll be like, it's this guy in a suit that's been like genetically altered, and that's the end of that.
You might not have the time in a movie.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to tell a whole story. So,
and I think it's a much better medium for them to at least try things out, like Netflix. The 4 episodes. If they could do more video games like that, as long as they make it a self-contained story as opposed to leading it to more seasons.
What about live action? Video games in live action, but in that format.
I mean, I'm always up for it. It just all depends on how well it's done.
A lot of the games we want to see in that sort of format, it would just have to be...
Yeah, like I would want to see more like, Legend of Zelda or Metroid in...
it's a little bit fantastical.
Yeah, I want it, obviously, humans. Like, there's no reason to go Sonic live action.
No, right, of course.
Mario, I think I'd prefer to see in a cartoon. Yeah. We've seen live action.
It's weird.
Honestly, I think it's all right. But, but yeah, it all just depends on the characters, I guess. What kind of story is told.
Dude, I'll go back to that Halo.
That was done so well.
I could see Metroid being kind of... I mean, Metroid's a much more like sci-fi. You got to be feeling otherworldly, lots of creatures. But I look at Halo because they did the costumes well. They did the creatures well, and the world looked really cool.
Yeah.
So you could do something like a Metroid, a Zelda. I don't know. I feel like we're going to get it one day, but I don't know how. Animated would be cool. I feel like animated like the way Castlevania looks might be really cool.
That would be excellent.
So I don't know.
There was a Zelda cartoon, I think, in the 80s. Never watched it, so I don't know anything about it. But.
Yeah, I think,
Yeah. That's fine. You can just leave it where it lies. I think it's just all in due time. And Netflix is like, they're catering to everybody. Yeah. So I think we'll eventually get our turn with... They already bought the rights to The Witcher, which is incredible. I think they are going... I don't know what they're going with that, actually. CG or live action.
I could see that being live action.
It would make the most sense. That could be their Game of Thrones.
Mm.
And also the director of Castlevania said he's super interested in doing a Metroid show. Doesn't mean anything.
Nobody's interested.
He's
if
interested.
Castlevania does well.
Yeah.
I mean, the market's there for it, so that would be pretty radical.
I'm absolutely with
I'm excited. I've always loved Castlevania.
Yeah, they did a great job, like staying true to the games. You know, there's a lot of callbacks to weapons. Like the axe shows up. You know, you can lob the axe. They totally he lobs it and
it spins.
Yeah,
of course.
Exactly.
Yes.
So they totally do all the nice fan service. We always talk about.
Sure.
So it does the nice wink to the audience. Like if you enjoy this. So, but yeah, overall it was great to watch. Short, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
We'll get more.
Yeah, exactly.
And I gotta say, it's a little bit less intimidating to watch 4 26-minute episodes.
It was so easy for me to watch it because I'm like, oh, it's 4 episodes.
Right.
I'll crush through it, talk about it. I watched it yesterday. I was on like a binging spree.
Yeah.
So, it's much easier to tackle 4 episodes. So, which could be a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I'm gonna try to jump on that this week because I'm excited about it.
Yeah, it is excellent, and that's all I can say.
Do you have anything else in TV?
I don't think so.
All right, because I have a good transition into movies.
Let's
if
do
that's
it.
What we're doing.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go.
Okay.
Ooh, let's go to the movies.
All right, so speaking of video games to film kind of things.
Yes.
Did you hear about Uncharted?
No.
Really?
Well, I mean, they've been talking about making a movie for a long time.
Yeah.
But
So it's happening.
yeah.
Starring
Yeah.
Tom Holland.
He must be young.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're going with a young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
It must be a younger Sully. Who's playing Sully? Do you know?
I don't know.
Do you know who Sully is?
Nope.
That's okay. You don't have to.
I listened to an interview with Tom Holland, and it was very recently announced. So now the last movie that came out that we were stoked about was Assassin's Creed. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Me neither, but we know it got terrible reviews.
It was funny. I was looking yesterday. I was like, what are some movies I missed? So The Mummy, Fast and the Furious 7, and then I saw Assassin's Creed, and I'm like, I'm on the fence. I want to see it.
I want to watch it really badly.
Yeah, because sometimes reviewers are wrong, and obviously we have our own opinions. So it's on the list, but I'm iffy. I'm very, very iffy.
So my point there is we still haven't seen our saving grace for video game films yet.
We've talked about it before. Resident Evil was pretty close.
It was close, but even then you got to admit it's kind of a niche. Like,
yeah, but it's a zombie movie. It's like horror, so it totally.
I still don't feel like it
It definitely didn't nail Resident Evil.
I don't think anybody would say, like, if you ask someone what's the best video game movie, they might be able to come up with the best, but it's like the best smelling turd.
Awesome analogy. I think, it really is. It's like,
and there are ones I like. Like, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I love Mortal Kombat. I could watch Street Fighter, not Legend of Chun-Li.
That's the only one to watch. I mean, Tomb Raider is all right, but you're right.
It's
there's
watchable, but it's not a good movie.
Yeah, there's no like Dark Knight of video game movies. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like pre-Spider-Man. 2002 Spider-Man saying what's the best comic book movie? You got to go to like
Howard the Duck.
I mean, I haven't seen Dolph Lundgren's Punisher, so I don't know how good that is, but
I mean, you have the Captain America serials that were in the 50s.
You get those, you got the Hulk movies, the spin-offs from the TV show. They might have even aired on TV.
Yeah, but those you know
what I mean? What did you have? They existed. But so I was listening to Tom Holland, and he is like beyond stoked about this because he's a big Uncharted fan, and
that's cool. He would definitely not be my number one choice for Nathan Drake. But they are going with a younger Nathan Drake, so I think he definitely has like the comedic chops for it.
He always reminded me of Nathan Fillion, Nathan Drake.
Yes.
I don't know if he's based on him. I don't know why his name's Nathan.
I
know he wasn't voiced by him.
No, he was voiced by Nolan North.
Yeah, of course. I actually did know that.
Yeah, because I think we talked about it a long time ago.
100 times.
Anyways, yes. They were talking about Nolan North doing it because he does all the motion capture for him anyway. So obviously he's acted as Nathan Drake. But he's old. That's the only issue. So he can't really play. But Nathan Fillion, I mean, they certainly are very similar, like very similar.
I thought I've seen like promos for Uncharted games before, and I was like, does Nathan Fillion? Because it's like his style of humor and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just like a little bit sarcastic, like no matter how bad the situation is, he's like, here we go. And I don't know. I haven't really looked up like their inspiration for the character. But
did you find confirmation on that?
No, this is something separate that I have to talk about in movies. But you remind me of Tom Holland.
Yeah, so I thought you would find that interesting, and I'm interested because I really thought Fassbender in Assassin's Creed was going to be like, look, they can make a good one. Mm-hmm. And hearing how excited, which it was an episode on the Nerdist. If you've never listened to the Nerdist podcast, you totally should. It's an interview with Tom Holland, and it's great. Like, he was really, really great to listen to.
Did he spoil what he's working on next? Is that the interview where he did that?
He does. Well, maybe. I didn't hear about that.
Oh, okay. So
he does mention a few things that I was like, I don't know if he's supposed to talk about that, but
yeah, he got in a little bit of trouble where now for Infinity War, he doesn't have the script. They only gave him his lines and like the lines before it. He's not allowed to look at it because he's spoiled.
What did he say?
Well, he spoiled Homecoming 2, that it was coming out, I guess, which isn't a big deal because we all knew it was coming,
I thought we already knew.
I don't remember everything else, but yeah, he just couldn't keep his mouth shut. Like, he just kept accidentally releasing little tidbits of information that...
I mean, he mentions in the interview, like...
Or maybe it was a third Spider-Man movie.
In the interview, he says a couple things about, like, then I go work on Avengers, and then I work on this, and then I work on this.
Oh, see,
and
maybe
so
that's it.
Maybe it was that one, but...
all his connections. But
yeah,
it was pretty funny to hear that, like, he's
like got grounded.
Yeah, exactly. He's the kid of the Marvel Universe. He said he's totally cool with it. He knows. He said it's better off for him not to know anything because he will totally open his mouth.
That's so funny.
It's great.
Yeah, I was just confirming it. It looks like it has been.
Yeah.
Tom Holland will play young Nathan Drake in the Uncharted movie, so this is an interesting thing too, because a lot of times it's and he talks about this in the interview. It's like people have already played the game. Games are so well fleshed out nowadays. What do you do with a movie?
Right.
And he's excited about doing the origin, like pre what you play in the game.
Yes.
So
they definitely, dabble in it a lot throughout all the games. You get a taste, but I'd be curious to see how different they go. Like that's a weird approach to have a story that people want to hear, but only a movie format when the games have only been video games.
Right.
Or when they've only been video games.
Well, it'd probably be one of those things where it's like the people who have read all the Marvel stories get a little bit extra out of the movies.
Yeah.
The people who've played the Uncharted games, if it's a good movie, will get even more out of that movie than the people who haven't. Another interesting thing, if I'm understanding correctly, I think Tom Holland suggested the story. Like, he mentioned it to someone somewhere, and that is like
that's cool.
Where it came from.
Yeah, that must be awesome for him. This kid must be on friggin'.
Yeah, dude, he's
Planet 9.
Part of what's
Cloud 9. That's what it is.
Planet 9 sounds cool. Part of what was cool about the interview is he's just like, I can't take myself too seriously. Like, this job is amazing, and like, I just pretend for a living, and he just sounds like he's having fun. You know what I mean? So that's cool to hear.
That's amazing.
So what do you got?
So this past week, Disney always has a big conference every year. It's called D23.
D23.
I have no idea why it's called that. Disney Tornado.
I don't think the numbers stand for words, Tim.
I'd like to believe that.
It's D23 every year?
Yeah, it's always. It doesn't go up every year. I think it's D23. I know it's D. Let me see. I'll just look it up. D23. Anyway, so they have this big conference. It's like E3 or Comic-Con,
Just for Disney.
The official Disney fan club, named in honor of 1923, when Walt left Kansas, headed for Hollywood.
Oh.
Great story.
That is a great story.
Anyway, so they had a Star Wars panel, they had a Marvel panel, they had Disney. So a lot of Marvel announcements.
What do we got?
Really just a lot of release dates for things.
Okay, so stuff we already knew was happening.
Yeah, they
mostly.
Yeah, nothing new. They had new footage on Infinity War.
Okay.
They haven't released it to the public yet, but what I've been reading is spectacular.
Oh, that's what I heard about today.
Yes.
A friend at work was talking to me about it. He's like, apparently there's a trailer somewhere, because you can find, I think, like crappy footage of it.
Yeah,
somewhere.
I haven't found it yet, but it's it's like 2 minutes, and it's like it shows the Guardians and Avengers meeting up for the first time.
Oh man,
Thanos showing up, them like fighting him a little bit, and then I guess at the end he like grabs Thor by the head and he's like, "I could crush your head like a grape," or says something intimidating.
I
and then
love grapes.
Oh, Thor's a juicy grape.
Yeah.
So, Defenders, August 18th, 2017. Next month.
Next month?
Next month. Defenders is coming out officially.
Wow.
I don't know if it says how many episodes. Blah, 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 blah,
Dude,
blah.
I need to finish Iron Fist.
I need to start it. That's next on my list.
Holy Christmas.
And then I guess Inhumans. That's coming September 29th.
Is that Netflix?
Let me see. Nope, ABC.
Oh.
So, well, they have Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. on ABC, right?
Yeah. I gotta.
So that's coming out. I know, like, this much about Inhumans, like nothing, but
I gotta catch up on S.H.I.E.L.D. too.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, that's nuts.
Thor Ragnarok, we already know November 3rd.
Yep.
They're saying the Punisher Netflix show with what's his face?
John Bernthal.
Yes, 2017, near the end.
What?
Yeah, this year.
But dude, we're already near the end.
I know.
We're already halfway through the year.
They're saying sometime in late 2017.
Wow.
Karen Page will be back.
Awesome.
Or Deborah Ann Wool plays. Wait, Wolf? They have Wool written here, but isn't it Deborah Ann Wolf?
Who plays Karen?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That's funny.
I'll IMDb it while you're reading more things.
Of course. So Black Panther, I don't know if we had a date, but February 16th.
I think we did have that
2018.
date. Yeah.
Infinity War, May 4th, 2018.
That's earlier than I thought.
Me too. But I mean, they've been working on it. They wrapped it already, so they're just editing now and
wow, that's nuts.
finishing it up. Then Ant-Man and the Wasp. That's the next one, July 6th.
Oh,
2018.
Sick.
So I guess they had some footage for that.
I'm so excited.
And I guess there's a Cloak and Dagger show coming out.
Netflix?
Let me see.
That's got
ABC.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
2018. Then The Runaways, 10-episode first season on Hulu.
On Hulu?
Yeah, I know. They're they're stretching us thin here.
Bloody hell.
We got to go all over the place.
No, her last name's Wool.
Oh, that's
Deborah
funny.
Ann Wool.
She should change it to Wolf because that sounds cool.
Yeah, wolves are awesome. Wolves.
So this one's going to be weird. Oh, wait. No, this is... It's called The New Warriors.
Okay.
Starring Squirrel Girl.
Yes, yes.
So it's a 30-minute comedy series that is coming... TV series, but it doesn't say where yet.
Okay.
That's all I got on that. Jessica Jones Season 2, 2018. No specific date yet.
Okay.
Luke Cage Season 2, 2018.
Oh, I can't wait.
For
I
Season 2?
cannot wait.
For
Yeah.
Luke Cage Season 2?
Yes.
Really?
Dude, I love Luke Cage.
It's good, but definitely not top of the list
so
for me.
good.
Daredevil's, I can't wait for that.
Well, yeah, but like
Punisher's going to be cool.
there's a uniqueness about Luke Cage that I just love so much.
I can't wait to watch Iron Fist because I'm curious just to see how much I like it.
I really did not like the first episode. So
that hurts.
yeah, whatever.
Captain Marvel, March 8th,
Ooh.
2019.
Ooh.
I know, it's a little far
All
away.
right.
Then the fourth Avengers film, May 3rd, 2019. Now we're getting pretty far ahead.
These are way out there.
Yeah, these are projected. I'm assuming they might change.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Homecoming 2, July 5th, 2019.
Wow.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, no date. But they said it's happening.
It's happening,
so.
yeah.
But that, pretty exciting to see like dates and all these things come out. What else did they talk about? Pixar had like a big panel where they talk about Incredibles 2, Toy Story 4. They talked about the new Lion King, who's starring in that.
Wow.
That's going the Jungle Book
The
route.
Jungle Book.
Jungle Book.
Live action?
Yes.
Wow.
But obviously they're all animals, so it's like it'll be really nice looking animals, like Planet of the Apes style,
Yeah.
They talked about Aladdin, live action Aladdin.
Yep.
They announced who Aladdin and Jasmine were going to be, but I didn't recognize either of them. Or one of them is the girl. Jasmine plays the Pink Ranger in Power Rangers, the new movie.
Oh. Are they like Middle Eastern actors?
I believe the guy who plays Aladdin she didn't look like it.
Because I've been seeing a bunch of stuff online.
There's
about
always
like,
controversy about these because they're like, white people shouldn't be playing these characters.
Well, I mean, in fairness, there are like a million actors and actresses out there.
Race should never like define. Will Smith's playing the genie, which is that's funny.
Huh.
I'm curious if they're gonna make it look like Will Smith or if they're gonna go classic looking genie.
All right, so Naomi Scott and Mina Masood.
Mina.
Yeah, he looks like a solid Aladdin.
Nice.
That's how you judge a book by its cover.
How rude.
Yeah, that's cool.
What else? Star Wars. There's just some more like behind the scenes. They were talking about The Last Jedi. That's what it's called, right?
Yes, I believe so.
I'm terrible with the names. Though.
Yeah.
I know. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Your camera cracking?
I don't think so.
I hope not. It's the camera's about to die though. So goodbye, folks. I'll keep talking for a minute until it dies, though.
I mean, you can just switch it out now.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
All right. What else we got in movies?
I watched a movie. Are we talking yet?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We sure are, Tim.
I just, sometimes saying words is confusing.
Thanks, Tim. Back to you.
Back to you.
Funny story about a movie I watched?
Yes.
I rewatched The Nice Guys the other day with Rachel. And I can't quite remember, but we had a conversation about it, and we were talking about like
the ending.
No, like inappropriate content or whatever.
Yeah.
And I think
you
I
didn't
was
remember.
Yeah, right. And you were like, well, the whole thing has to do.
That's the main story of the movie.
And I was like, I don't really remember it. And so
that's real.
I
funny.
thought I had watched it with Rachel, and I was talking about it. She's like, when did you watch that? And I was like, the one with Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling.
Yes.
That was.
I wasn't ready. I was like,
and she's like, no, I never watched that. And I was like, oh, I must have got it at Redbox and watched it one night.
To watch it
so she was like, she's like, oh yeah, no, I didn't see that. I was like, it's so good, babe. Like you probably really like it. We should watch it. So we watched it, and I was like, so there's some stuff in here, a little bit of violence, but I don't think because that's like her big thing, like violence. If it's like over the top, she can't do it.
I mean, she is a lady; she can look at other ladies.
It's true.
That's the law.
if she, yeah, exactly. Yeah. So maybe not exactly. I don't know all the rules.
I do.
It's probably not as big of a I don't know, whatever.
Anyways.
So I was like, yeah, there's some stuff, and I was talking to Tim, and there are a couple things, but I don't really remember. Like, I don't think there's too much sexual stuff. And so the opening scene is a kid looking at a centerfold of a woman like completely naked, and it shows you the whole thing,
everything,
and then. The next scene, I won't say what happens. It's not sexual in nature, other than they show that woman in real life.
Yep.
And they do a pan of her whole body. And I was like, so I'm watching it with Rachel, and
it's one of those things you must be like looking over as you're watching.
Well, it was funny. Like the part with the centerfold comes up, and I looked over at her, and I was like, I don't remember this part. And she just like laughed. And then 2 minutes later, it happens again with the woman, and I was like. She's like, did you forget about this part too? And I was like, I really did. Like, I don't remember this at all. And then later there's the party, which you had also brought up. Yeah. And there's so many boobs.
There's so many.
And I was like, she's like, Brett, there's a lot of boobs in this movie.
I don't know.
And I was like, I didn't remember any of it. Like, my memory of this movie is that it's just so funny.
That's a good sign though, because you're not paying attention to
I really did. Like, I was like, I remember how funny the movie was. And I just like those scenes, they're not like super significant. Like
no,
those
but like
moments.
the main premise of the story is obviously she's
right,
like a porn star and stuff.
Right.
So.
She's an adult film actress, and so the whole movie's based around that, but it's not like they're.
It really is like a backdrop, like
they're not like deep in the like seedy underbelly of the
not like
of like
8mm.
human trafficking or like exactly. It's not like that, and it's so much of a comedy.
Yeah.
So funny, and she really liked it, but it was just so funny. Every time something happened, I was like, I literally don't remember this. Like I forgot that.
You must have watched it when it was late at night.
It was late, and I don't know. But it's so good. The movie is so good.
So upon a second viewing,
yeah.
Initially when I asked you about the ending, we're going to spoil it at this point because it's been out for a long time.
No, I don't agree with that logic.
Why?
I don't agree with that logic.
So
it's not a big deal. So throughout the movie, Russell Crowe doesn't really drink.
Yes.
Right? That's your thing?
That's his thing. That makes him like his, I don't know, his more... His character.
They don't make it like a big deal though.
They don't, but to me, I'm like, that's such a betrayal of his character. Like that's a sign that he gave up. It's kind of like a depressing ending.
I think it's played as a joke.
Not a good one though. Like
no, I see what you're saying because I had that in my mind when I watched it.
Yeah.
The ending's super weird.
It is super weird.
There's a moment that's like really weird with the bee. Do you remember the bee?
The bee.
It's just strange.
There's a bee? Like a bumblebee?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. It's really funny though. The ending has so much like such a comedic tone to it that I think that is also part of the like. But I see what you're saying. I can see how it would be taken like that. But it's like kind of left like there's gonna be more.
A sequel, yeah. So, but speaking of weird endings, I watched a movie based solely on your recommendation.
Okay.
Burn After Reading.
You watched it?
I did.
Yes.
Because you were talking about it, and I saw it on Netflix, and I was like, all right, I know nothing about this movie going in.
You wouldn't. Also, I would say, like, the trailers left you like, I don't know what this movie's about. But it's Coen Brothers.
Yes, and that, with their, which I didn't know, I just figured that out yesterday, that it worked on No Country for Old Men. I had no idea they did that.
I still haven't seen that.
Oh, man.
I know.
Oh, such a good movie. But totally, like, at least in my opinion, not their usual style.
Okay.
But an amazing movie, you know? But that being said, not going into this movie not knowing anything, I mean, that's the whole movie is not knowing anything.
Yep.
I literally was dumbfounded the whole movie. So go ahead, give your synopsis of this film.
Dude, all right. So, like, after watching it, I was like, okay, I can see why the trailers don't let you know what this is about, because the whole, I mean, I don't even want to say my full assessment of the movie because that I think is part of the point.
Yes.
I think part of the point of the film is to watch it and have your reaction to it, which sounds basic, I know.
Yeah.
But it's like literally you have to sit for a minute afterwards and be like, what just happened here?
Yeah, because it just jumps around so much, and I'm having a hard time following it, but at the same time, I'm like just another minute passes, and I'm like, oh, I get what just happened a minute ago. It's like my brain was just always a step behind the whole time, and they were always 2 steps ahead, so I'm like trying to catch up.
Yeah. Which leads you all the way up to the final scene, which I watched twice because it's hilarious.
It is hilarious.
With
J.K.
Simmons.
Yeah.
I always want to call him Jonah Jameson.
Hey, they both fit.
Yeah,
so.
I know.
But yeah, that was great because it really does wrap everything up nice, and it's funny, but at the same time, you're like, they ended it like that?
I think that scene, I think it's to kind of speak to your experience. You know what I mean? I think it like is a very self-aware, like the things that he's saying are the things that you're thinking.
Right. And he's just like, so this, and this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, all right.
He kind of, in a way, I'm trying my hardest not to spoil anything, but in a way, the end scene kind of lays out for you this.
How it would end.
Kind of how it did.
Well, yeah, the final scene, but right before that scene, when everything leads up to that final moment.
Yeah.
And then you're like, well, and then he just basically explains what happened.
Yes.
It's so weird.
It's very weird. The movie follows a bunch of different characters, and they all intertwine in ways I could not even try to explain.
Oh my God, the way people met each other or walked by each other, I was like.
So it's very intriguing in that aspect, I would say. The Coen brothers just have a style about them. I would call, the genre I landed on for maybe, I haven't seen all of their work.
Yeah.
But I would call this movie an alternative comedy.
Absolutely. I was going to say dark comedy. So
I guess dark comedy.
That is absolutely their format, like Fargo.
The Big Lebowski.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Like it's all generally what their movies have is like a darkness to it, but like a comedic.
There's a lot of like discomfort and a couple moments that are very surprising and leave you like
the closet.
Kind of in yes.
Oh, holy crap.
Yeah.
That came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I'd say on
Rachel audibly reacted.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah.
I had to pause for a second. I was like, what just happened?
I know. It's insane.
But it's totally their style.
I will say Brad Pitt's hilarious. He's very, very funny.
He does a great job.
Yeah. It's really funny seeing him in this like goofy role.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, everybody's great in it. George Clooney's great. John Malkovich.
Yeah.
Tilda Swinton. She's awesome.
Yeah. So just like a very rough synopsis,
what do you got? I don't even know how to.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like what IMDb said.
Okay.
And they were like, this is rough because I'm not looking at it, but basically it was 2 workout instructors find sensitive data and try to blackmail a government official into giving them, and then a bunch of madness ensues. Like it's like, even the description, they were confused writing it because they're like they wrote it very basic, where it just doesn't sound that interesting. It just sounds like a simple like blackmail story, I guess.
Right. Well, that's kind of what it is at the heart of it. But the entire story is threaded on confusion and misdirection.
Yes.
On everyone's part. And you're seeing all of these characters just operate out of confusion and their own understanding, which is limited in every situation.
Yeah.
And it almost entirely wrong.
Because it's funny, because you have the idea, like, all what's going on with everybody. So when they're talking to this character, you're like, oh my God, you're talking about this guy. And all you have to do, like, you don't know who he looks like. And
So what's interesting is it kind of goes against everything you're used to seeing in a story, where it's fleshed out in a way where you're following it and you're seeing the characters discover what's true and come to know
all
things.
At the same time.
Right.
Where in this case,
like the audience knows what's real, but you're watching all the confusion in these characters, and it's almost frustrating because it's like, but you watch their story unfolds based on their knowledge.
Yes.
Which is, like I said, almost always wrong. So I think that's what feels so weird about it, is it's like, this isn't a story that you're watching unfold in the way you would expect it to. It's just like crazy to watch. And I think it had a very pointed intention, which I don't even want to say what it is, because I will say I think it's like a comment on film, maybe on government, maybe on like...
Yeah, like really just human mistake, I would say.
Dude, it's real interesting.
It is. It's like I've talked about this before with like smart movies. It's one of those movies that move very fast and people talk a lot in it.
Yeah.
But it's so just engaging to watch, because you're like, this is, and it's very grounded, like it's very realistic.
Yeah.
So it's enjoyable to watch, because you're like, this could probably happen. Like, all this stuff is possible, and it could be happening right now for all we know. So
it's super eccentric.
Yeah.
And very colorful cast. It's real weird.
That's the way to describe it, is weird.
It's one of those movies where the credits start to roll and you just watch them for a minute, even though you're there with someone else. You both take like a few minutes before you look at each other silently and then start to discuss.
Right, start to talk, because your brain has to be like, okay, so this,
right,
like it has to figure out, piece it all together, basically.
I think afterwards, during the movie, there were a couple times where Rachel and I were like, is this a bad movie? And then it ended and I was like, I think I loved it.
I wouldn't say I loved it. I enjoyed it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't know, like,
I would recommend it to people because I think you need to watch it and then have a reaction.
Yeah.
I think it's important to watch movies like that and be like, because it's not like anything I've ever seen before.
Oh yeah, it's certainly it's its own thing. But yeah, I just, because you talked about it, not on the podcast at any point, but last week at some point, and I was like I remember hearing about it, but just having like no interest, didn't know much about it, and so I was like, yeah, I'll give it a shot.
It's funny because the way it was marketed, I mean, you see like Brad Pitt being funny and you're like, oh, it's going to be a fun movie.
Yeah.
And it's like, I wouldn't call it a fun movie.
No, it's funny.
Yeah.
But that's just...
in the most uncomfortable way as possible.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. It's just like, I feel weird laughing
about
it.
I'm uncomfortable.
But yeah, Brad Pitt plays more like... how it's, like you said, how it's like presented, he seems like a front runner, but he's totally like a side character.
Side character for sure.
But... I don't know. I enjoyed it for sure. It's definitely worth a watch.
I'm glad you watched it. Yeah. Currently on Netflix.
Yes, that's where I saw it. So I believe that's all I have in movies. I did see War for the Planet of the Apes, but I want you to watch all the movies before we talk about them.
Okay.
So that being said, it was a really good movie.
Rise, Dawn, War.
Yeah, because in the movie they give you a quick like little tidbits about each movie. So they're like, and then the apes rise, and then it's like in big red letters. So they're saying Rise, Dawn, and then but yeah, I because have you seen the older Planet of the Apes movies?
Like when I was younger, not that I really remember.
Yeah,
because my dad and uncle watched them.
Oh, exactly.
So they would like show me them,
right?
But I don't really remember.
Yeah, so those are worth a watch, and I'm pretty sure we talked about it on the podcast a long time ago, so I'm not going to step on it again. But yeah, once you watch it, at least the first two. Then we can kind of discuss the third one.
Okay.
If you ever watch them, but yeah, there's they're really great. It's a trilogy that I just didn't expect to be as good as it was.
Yeah.
And because you're like, okay, it's apes again, Planet of the Apes for like the 50th time.
Yeah,
what
right.
else could they do? What new story could they tell? But they did an amazing. This new movie, very, very excellent.
Yeah.
Andy Serkis, guy who plays Caesar.
Yeah.
Hands down, like one of the best actors I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Just even though it's like motion capture and stuff, like it's just an unbelievable experience to see those movies and see how far technology has gone.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But like I said, I'm not going to say much more. It's
All
excellent.
Right. Keep those
Watch
on my
it,
list,
folks. I think that's it. Speaking of CG,
yeah,
I want to see a Sonic movie in that format, in the Planet of the Apes format.
Which is what? I mean, live action with CG, you're saying?
Pretty much. But I don't want live action. I just want that high quality Sonic.
I don't know what a CG Sonic looks like. And ever since Turtles, I've been scared.
CG Turtles. Why? What do you mean?
The ones with the nostrils?
Oh, okay. You're doing, the newest movie. Well, Sonic was in Wreck-It Ralph. I mean, that's more of a Disney.
So, yeah, that's just animated, though.
Yeah, but I want like the turtles, like the gritty, realistic.
But like, he might look garbage.
Yeah, but at least they'll have Sonic music. That's the whole reason I said that.
All right.
Okay.
Now what?
Let me see. I don't even have to go into video games. I just want to say they had a new Kingdom Hearts trailer.
Ah!
And that was my reaction to it.
Yeah, I saw a bunch of stuff about it.
Oh, my God.
Everybody freaking out.
Yeah, so they announced a new world, the Toy Story.
Toy Story
World, which is great. So now they have a Tangled, a Big Hero 6, and Toy Story Worlds.
Crazy.
And Mount Olympus, Hercules.
This is going to be like an entirely new Kingdom Hearts game we're talking about.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom Hearts 3.
Kingdom
Hearts.
People have been waiting over 10 years for this.
That's crazy.
I'm pretty sure we're at year like 12 at this point.
Gross.
But I can't wait. That's top of the list. That, and then if Sonic Adventure 3 ever gets announced, I will like die.
You probably will just die.
Yeah. There's been attempts at Sonic Adventure 3, Sonic Unleashed, Sonic 06. They suck.
Yeah.
Unleashed was okay. 06 is terrible.
Unleashed is the one with the
werehog.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it was okay. Not.
I played a little bit of it.
Yeah.
No.
But anyways, that's all I had in games because that's all I had.
I'm not even putting the transition in this
week.
No,
there was no point. I was like, we don't even have to say it.
Yeah.
I think that might be it for me.
Really, Tim?
I think so.
Really? All right, well, let me tell y'all what's going on.
What's going on?
This is what we're going to do from now on.
Okay.
We're going to try it out tonight and see how it goes.
Yes.
We're no longer going to do the live portion on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not going to be live.
Right. So, what? So we're going to wrap up the episodes and we're going to go on our Facebook page, the Keep Up.
So we're doing it on the Keep Up page.
On the Keep Up page.
Not your page.
Not my personal page, which we've done a couple times. We're going to do it on the Keep Up Facebook page. And what we're going to do each time, I haven't even told you all this, so let me know what you think.
Okay.
If you dislike it, that's fine.
I hate it.
We'll come with a topic each week. We'll put it on the description of the video.
The title?
Yeah.
So we'll say podcasts.
We'll say the Keep Up Podcast.
59.
Might not even number it.
Well, we should so people know what podcast. Well, I guess it doesn't matter.
It's not part of the podcast.
That's true.
So what I'm thinking is like, I guess we're not going to do it on here, but a little teaser because the videos will stay up.
Yes.
What are we going to talk about on today's live?
We are going to talk about our favorite zombie movie.
Maybe we'll do this on the podcast every week because then you got to come hang out with us on live. Oh, no, it won't matter. It'll be past time.
Well, it'll give them an idea to go next week and know because the idea is basically every Monday night is when we record.
Right.
Monday night. What time is it now? Oh, it's almost 6?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I thought it was like 7. So between 6 and 7 generally is
that's normally when we get on.
We'll go live on our Facebook page. So give us a follow / like there.
It's already posted if you're listening to this now.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It's already on the page.
Yeah.
So, and obviously at the end of live, it'll automatically post to the channel, so you can watch it and you can comment, but we won't be answering you.
Not live, but
right.
we'll go back and do it.
We'll respond, obviously. But.
So
yeah, tonight.
Figuring out the timing of it all is so funny.
It is weird because vodcasts and podcasts, it's all different times.
But I want to make it like a unique experience in each one. So that was kind of my idea behind this. So what I think we'll do is we'll go on live, like Tim said, every Monday night, probably between 6 and 7.
We'll discuss what we talked about in the podcast so people know what to look forward to.
Which that's what I was going to say, I think. So we'll come with a topic.
Yep.
We'll start discussing ours. You can come on live and interact with us. List your, tonight, anyone who's in there, favorite zombie movie, whatever.
Yep.
And then at the end of it, we'll give, we can talk about what's coming out this week. So that's something you'll only get on the Facebook page in advance. So we can say episode number 59 of the Keep Up will be out Friday on wherever we're releasing it, iTunes and whatnot.
And I got to catch up with the podcast.
But you could say what's coming out, even if it's older episodes, you know what I mean? Because we're hoping to have more to come out soon, more to come out weekly. And like you said, we can talk about what topics came up in the podcast. We won't go through the topics again, but just this episode will come out Friday. Here's what we discussed. And so it's kind of like a heads up.
Yeah.
But we're not going to put the live portion in the podcast anymore. It'll be exclusive to the Facebook page.
Yes.
How do you feel about that, Tim?
I think that's great.
Cool.
Gives them an incentive to come check us out on Facebook.
Yeah, and there might not be a lot of people on there, but come and interact, even if it's not live anymore, just so we know you guys are out there. And I think I'm a little confused about Facebook at this point.
It's weird.
I think you like the page, but you can also follow it. I know you can select see first so that you see our notifications.
Yes. So yeah, that's the only issue when we go live is the only people who see it are the people who are following us.
Right.
As opposed to doing it on our personal Facebook.
Right.
And now we have a guest. Welcome to the Keep Up Podcast.
Hello, Doge.
You look tired from walking down those stairs. But you look happy, so that's fine.
Tim, stop talking to the dog. We have an audience.
Oh, I'm sorry, folks. And I guess that's about it.
All right. Tim completely lost his train of thought.
The dog just.
So that's it. We're gonna go live on our Facebook page. Now we're done.
Yeah, the camera died, so I can't not do end babble, so I'm just gonna go now.
All right. So we'll see you guys next week on the podcast, and if you want, Monday night you can see us.
Yes, this Monday night. Go back in time and listen to us.
You can watch past ones.
Yes.
In 3 days, you can also hang out with us on the Facebook page.
In 3 days?
Yeah.
Why in 3 days?
Will you please understand the fact that they're listening to this on a Friday if they listen to it the day it comes out?
Sunday, Monday. That's 3 days.
Thanks, Tim.
I'm glad.
Although not everyone listens to it the day of, and they stay online for as long as the internet exists.
So you just crush these people into
whatever. I'm sorry, Tim. Just babble. I'm leaving.
Babbly.
I can't get up.
Yeah, you can't get up. So I was thinking the other day, if you go fishing in a pond, is that as illegal as fishing with a wand? Like if you're just like Wingardium Leviosa, which I didn't want to copyright Harry Potter right there. So you use sauce, Wingardium Leviosa, and then you lift up the fish in a pond. Like, will the cops come or will the wizard police come? Do you think you can get arrested in America from British wizard police? I mean, I guess there are wizards in America. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. So it makes sense that if you fish illegally with a wand, then British police of the wizard kind could arrest you.